Om Shanti, good morning. Can you hear me clearly? Is my sound okay?
Shanti Harshabai, we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it better?
We can hear you, Harshabai.
Okay, sorry, my speaker was off. I couldn't see. Okay, good morning, everyone. Today, Murli is very appropriate for the Avyakt month where Baba is talking about how to have a bhatti, what do we have to have a bhatti, what is the purpose of a bhatti, uh, what is a lotus seed that we have to sit, and when we sit on the lotus seed, what happens in the future, and a lot of deeper aspects of having yoga and being yogyukt. So Baba says a lotus seed for remaining constantly yogyukt. In order to have a yoga yukt stage, the stage where your yoga constantly stays alive, you have to sit on the lotus seat. Lotus seat is something that keeps us detached and keeps us connected to something beyond, whilst we are still in this physical realm. So, lotus seat for remaining constantly yog. What day is it today? It is the day of Bhatti. What is the day of Bhatti called? The day of the beginning of the Bhatti means the day for making a decision about your life. To make a decision means you are committing. When we start a Bhatti, we are committing for something. You have all come with this aim, have you not? When you come to a Bhatti, you receive a gift from Bap Dada and special children. What is that gift? It is easy to speak of the gift that you receive. A few people gave their ideas of what gift it is. Which gift is the basis of attaining for all the things you have spoken of? It is transformation of intellect. Bhakti helps to transform your intellect. The transformation of gross Rajoguni intellect to subtle Satoguni divine intellect. Try to digest this. This is the core. When you come to a bhatti, your intellect gets refined. Intellect is where we relate to the world, through which we relate to ourselves. Intellect is where through which we see ourselves. So the transformation of the intellect that transforms the gross Rajoguni, which means the intellect that sees only the physical, that comprehends only the physical relations. Your emotions are based on your physical interactions and very much limited. So Baba is telling when you come to Bhatti, the transformation of intellect will become more subtle. Satoguni. Sat is truth. That intellect that sees the truth, that intellect that brings divinity alive. Again, it is the transformation of intellect, the transformation of gross Rajoguni intellect to a subtle Satoguni and divine intellect. When you attain this divine intellect, Divya Buddhi, you are also able to attain the stage of being Avyakt and Yogyut. Try to see the connection of having a Divya Buddhi, intellect that has Divyata, Daivi Gun, your stage, your sthiti will become avyakt. From vyakt, it becomes avyakt. And that is how your sense of yourself will become very light and beyond avyakt and yogyukt. Your sense of self, yourself will be in the company of Baba and avyakt angels, and you're naturally in yoga, and you become yogyukt. And again, it is the transformation of intellect, the transformation of gross rajo guni buddhi to subtle sukshma sato guni and divya buddhi. When you attain this divya buddhi, divine intellect, you are also able to attain the stage. Buddhi says sthiti of avyakta sthiti.
There is no sound.
Sorry, my internet is disconnected. Give me 1 minute. Om Shanti. Sorry about that. So Baba was talking about whenever you come for Bhatti, Baba and the seniors give us gifts. And this is the gift Baba is giving us, the gift of divine intellect. It is intellect, the transformation of intellect, the transformation of the gross Rajoguni intellect to a Satoguni, subtle Satoguni and divine intellect. When you attain this divine intellect, you are also able to attain the stage of being avyakt and yogyukt. So what is the gift? A divine Satoguni intellect. It is only through the transformation of intellect that you are able to transform your life. It is only through the transformation of your intellect that you are able to transform your life. So you receive the special gift of divine intellect in this bhakti. To use this gift or just to keep it with you for all time is in your hands. Although everyone has received this gift, all those who have come to this party can very easily and quickly bring about the transformation in themselves through the gift of divine Sato Guni intellect. So try to give a pause here, try to digest this piece. What is the role of an intellect in transforming yourself? The intellect helps you to hold your stage. Intellect helps you to hold divinity, to keep divinity alive. So Baba says, all those who come to a bhatti. Bhatti means a place of transformation. All those who have come to transform themselves, to stay in this bhatti, can very easily and quickly bring about transformation in themselves through the gift of divine Satoguni intellect. So today is the day for transforming your life. Therefore, continue to imbibe the gift that you receive on this day. Imbibe money, embody. Dharan money, embody that, to live up to it, to live up to the truth of your divinity. Therefore, continue to imbibe the gift that you receive on this day. You continue to listen to the knowledge. But what have you come to do in this bhatti? You have come to become an embodiment of knowledge, Gyan Swarup. You have also come to receive the knowledge of yoga and practice yoga. However, you come to the bhatti to make firm the lesson of being constantly yogyukt. Can you see the progression? First, get the knowledge, practice the knowledge, and then become embodiment of knowledge. And you have to become constantly yogyukt. That is the goal. What is the easy method you have to learn from this bhatti in order to remain constantly yogyukt? Hatha yogis who do hatha yoga and tapasya sit on a special seat at the time of doing tapasya. Hatha yogis, yogis who do yoga by force, right? Even if we are not doing yoga on the body level, at the physical level, if I am forcing my mind or intellect to focus on something, that is still an hatha yoga. So here it is yoga which is based on understanding, and it is based on love, because our yoga is very much made out of love. So when we have this loving feeling for Baba, and when we are aligned to our true sense of self as a subtle divine spiritual being, and then when we recognize Baba and connect to Baba, it is all driven out of love, and it is naturally holding ourselves based on knowledge, holding our awareness based on Gyan, and then you naturally invoke the divinity within the soul, and then you embody knowledge. And that's why what we practice is not Hatha Yoga. So Baba is telling Hatha yogis, when they do Hatha Yoga and do tapasya, sit on a special seat at the time of doing tapasya. They have a variety of seats. So what is the seat in order for all of you to be constantly yogyukt? What is that seed that makes you constantly yogyukt? What is that yoga that is natural, that is constant, that is driven out of your true awareness and out of love? So what is the seed on which, in order for all of you to be constantly in yoga and in an interaction, yogyukt? Babdada is telling you about a seed that can be easily attained in order for you to attain constantly yogyukt. It is the seed of lotus flower. People speak of lotus seed. On what do people portray the images of deities? Deities are portrayed on lotus. Lakshmi is on lotus, right? So even while constantly performing actions, if you make your stage like that of lotus flower, swasthiti is that of Nyare Pyare, Sakshi. when you make your swasthiti stage like that of lotus flower, you can easily become constantly yogyukt. However, what do you have to do in order to be a lotus flower and stabilize yourself in this stage on this seed? You have to make yourself light, to be light, and also to be in the form of light. Light meaning your heart should not be heavy and sinking. Your feelings are not gross. That makes you heavy. Your sense of self-awareness should not be heavy. It should be lighter. And then you should be in the form, transform your swaroop into light. Swasthiti and swaroop to be light in order for us to sit on the lotus. A lotus is so gyan yukta. Then it is very much based on gyan. On seeing a lotus, you have the awareness of the knowledge. Awareness of knowledge, like I'm a soul, this body is part of this matter, and I'm beyond this bodily awareness, bodily feelings. Just by looking at the lotus, you have the awareness of knowledge. Gyan comes alive in your consciousness. So, by being seated on the lotus seat, you can remain constantly yogyukt. Never leave your seat. Always keep the stage of lotus seat. That is, constantly remain stabilized in this stage. Only then you will be able to keep the throne of the kingdom of for the length of the time in the future. If you are not able to sit on this seat, lotus seat now, that is, if you are not able to stabilize yourself in this stage, you are not able to attain the throne in the future. So, in order to attain the throne of the kingdom, you first have to practice stabilizing yourself on the lotus seat. You have come to the bhatti to make yourself free from all types of bondage, bandhan mukt, and to make yourself light. To become bandhan mukt, then you will become gyan yukt, then you become yog yukt, and then you become light. That is, you have come to learn to practice being constantly stabilized on the lotus seat. Therefore, finish whatever burdens you have before you leave this bhatti, whether it is a burden of the thoughts in the mind, or a burden of your sanskaras, or burden of attractions of perishable things of the world, or a burden of attachments to your Lokik relations. You have come to the bhatti to finish all burdens and bondages. This bhatti is a golden chance for you to make progress in your life. The more you take the chance in this bhatti, the more you will be able to make yourself move forward in your life. The more you take chance to be in this bhakti, the more you will be able to make yourself move forward in this Brahmin life for all the time. What aim have you attained? What aim have you kept for the bhakti? What aim will you keep after bringing about transformation in your sanskaras? In what special aspects is this group the best of all groups? Do you know? This group has one very good quality. When alloy is mixed into a gold, you cannot mold that gold. Only original gold can be molded. So consider this group to be that of real gold, that you do not have any alloy mixed in it. Do you know your own speciality? When this group is seen, it seems that same as when a plant is newly planted and it first has very beautiful, tiny, delicate leaves, which are very lovely. So this group is also that of new leaves, but they are very tender. Generally, things are either tender or tough. To be tender means that the bones of the sanskaras are not so hard that they cannot be changed. Little children first have very tender bones. Have you ever picked up a child? So delicate. And then as they grow older, the bones become stronger. This group is of those with tender sanskaras. It will be easily it will be easy to bring about transformation in these sanskaras. You're not those who have bitter sanskaras, are you? Acha. So before we go forward, let's pause what Baba is telling. So Baba is telling, when you come for bhakti, you come with a name to have a constantly yogyukt stage. In order to have a constantly yogyukt stage, Baba gives us a gift. What is the gift? The gift of divine intellect. Sato Guni intellect. Intellect that can align its sense of awareness with the truth. Sat is truth. Satoguni intellect is that intellect which is aligned to the truth. When we have Baba gives us this gift of Divya Buddhi, so then we naturally become light, we become seated on a lotus seat, and we become yogyukt, gyan yukt, yogyukt, and bandhan mukt. Gyan Yukt, Yog Yukt, and Bandhan Mukt. And again, Baba is telling, especially when you are subtle, it is easy to mold. Okay, so now Dadis are meeting Baba. Babdada speaks to Dadis who is taking leave to go. Dadiji, Dadi Prakashmani is taking leave from Baba to go to Madras for service for a couple of days. The speciality of those who are to become world emperor is that they keep all souls happy. That is Dadi's nature, to keep all souls happy. There is an income of multi-millions in every step of Maharatiks. Sita Mata, who was also taking leave from Baba. So you see that body of yours while considering yourself to be powerful. So by remaining stable in the stage of detached observer, Sakshi, Drishta, you receive power, Shakti. Being Sakshi, you get Shakti, Sakshi and Shakti. When someone is weak, he is given glucose to give him strength. So when you consider yourself to be bodiless, detached from body, this stage of being detached observer does the task of giving strength to the soul. By being Sakshi, you give strength to the soul. For the length of the time you have the stage of detached observer, for that time you also remember Baba, the companion, that is, Baba remains with you. Sakshi and Baba's Sat, Sati are being Sakshi, Sati comes into action. Baba's company comes into effect that gives strength to the soul. So you have Baba's company and you're also a detached observer. You have Sati and you're also Sakshi. One is the stage of Sakshi and other is the nourishment of happiness of being Baba's companion. So what will you then become? Free from all dis-ease. No discomfort, no dis-ease. You will be the form of Shakti, Snehi, Sakshi, form of power, loving and detached. At the moment, are you stabilized in the stage of being Snehi and Sakshi, loving and detached? This stage is as powerful as the radiation rays that doctors use to kill the germs. So, this stage is also so powerful that you are able to destroy the germs of many sins within a second. Once the sins have been destroyed, you will experience yourself to be light and powerful. Constantly consider your household to be the field of service. Do you consider yourself to be extremely loved by Bapdada? Why? What specialties have you got that you are extremely loved? You belong to Baba and none other. That is the specialty. Those who remain lost in love of the one are extremely loved by Baba. Do you understand? Cha? Looks like Dadi is going for some radiation treatment and Baba is giving what awareness to maintain, awareness of Sakshi and keeping the company of Baba, Sati, and you'll become Shakti Swarup. So then, in the form of Shakti, Snehi, and Sakshi, you will become detached and loving. Beautiful message, beautiful practice Baba is giving all of us when we are dealing. So, and then Baba is having a special meeting with Bap Dada. What gift has Bap Dada come to give you children? What is the gift from the incorporeal father? What is the gift from the corporeal father? Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba. Have you received both the gifts? Is the gift from each of them the same or are they different gifts? All of you have received the gift. You have received a gift from both Bab and Dada. The gift for all the souls, the fortune of the kingdom of heaven is received by all souls. But those special children who are very loving and cooperative, Snehi and Sahyogi, in all tasks receive their own special individual gifts from both fathers, Bab Dada. What is the one special gift that all of you have received from corporeal Bab Dada? This gift is only received by loving and cooperative jivas, Snehi and Sahyogi jivas. You will receive the gift of heaven as a blessing. Each of you have received special blessings as well as a gift from the corporeal and incorporeal. Many of you have received your own individual blessings through which you are able to attain success without any effort. You know, this is the days when Baba used to give personal meetings and personal blessings. You know your own blessings. Some have received the blessing of one special power and others have received the blessing of another power. Each of you is experiencing those blessings. Some have even received the blessing of remaining constantly Sahyogi, cooperative with all. Some receive the blessing of being Snehi with everyone, loving with everyone. Some receive the blessing of interacting with others. Some have even received the blessing of the power, Shakti, of being able to face any problem that comes in front of the souls. So each of you are receiving your own blessing. Together with this, you have also received a gift. Sneha, Shakti, and Sahyog. So each of you have received your own blessings. Together with this, you have also received a gift. If you look at all the powers that someone has, you will find that out of all the powers, there is one elevated power received in the form of a blessing. You do not have to make any effort for this. It is natural attainment. When you come into contact with one another, you experience those powers. Just as you speak of one another's virtues, in the same way you also know you also know about the blessings each one has received. However, there is special love for a personal gift. What is that gift? Think about this. And also think about what special attention is needed in order to keep the personal gift with you all the time. Churn this at Amritvela. So this is something that we also can do along with all the gifts. Baba gives something special, unique for each one of us. What is that special power Baba gives? Souls develop willpower by staying on the pilgrimage of remembrance. More willpower you imbibe, more you will be able to stabilize your mind and intellect wherever you want and for whatever length of time you want. How can you develop willpower? By willing yourself, by offering yourself, by surrendering, samarpan, offering yourself. Can you understand the sign of being able to will something through your own will power? If you will all the powers, Baba also wills all his powers to you. Then the Almighty Authority, the one with all powers, becomes your companion. Almighty Authority becomes your companion. And all the powers also becomes your companions. Then you will have total victory. On the path of devotion, when people carry out a task, they think, I do not know whether it will be accomplished or not. Therefore, they leave it up to God. Hey God, you know what your task. So the sanskara you had on the path of devotion are now being fulfilled practically. You have done it practically on the path of devotion. It was just in name. Here, on the path of knowledge, you have done it practically. On the path of knowledge, you have the power to do something practically. Whereas on the path of devotion, you just have the power to speak about it. There is a difference of day and night. Cha Om Shanti. Let's take a minute to meditate. Beautiful Murli, make yourself very subtle. Become very light. Very detached. Making your intellect very subtle. Making your self-awareness very light. Double light. Stepping into the form of light and being light. Holding yourself with your Satoguni intellect, holding with your divine intellect. Naturally detached from this physical awareness, very much embodied in this form of light. And your heart is naturally with Baba, absorbed in loving awareness and loving company of Baba. Naturally yogyukt, seated on this stage, lotus seat. And bringing your divinity alive by seated on this seat of being Gyan Yukt, Yog Yukt, very powerful stage, the combined stage with Baba. Shakti Swarup, Gyan Yukt, Yog Yukt, Shakti Swarup. Become very subtle, naturally Avyakt, in the Avyakt company of Bab Dada and all the Avyakt angels of Dadis and Didis, who embody this Gyan in the subtle avyakt state. Om Shanti. Such a beautiful Murli, very practical, very actionable. So, what beautiful experience Baba gave, and what strength Baba gave us to continue to stay in bhakti. And then Baba take us through a beautiful flow from being yogyukt by giving a gift, by making our intellect divine and satoguni, by practicing this Gyan Yukt, practicing Gyan to yoga to Shakti. Become light, making us Bandhat-mukt, giving us the gift. Being very subtle, we can easily mold like a real gold. And daddies, Maharitis are those who keeps everyone happy. And Baba gave us a nice tool of how to practice, especially when there is any illness or something. What practice we need to do to be Sakshi and Sati, and then Shakti. Sakshi, Sati, and Shakti will be naturally from Salam. Baba also has given everyone some special gift. Definitely he has given the gift of heaven, but Baba has Almighty Authority has already given some unique power to everyone, and that natural attainment stays with us. And Baba asked us to churn on that. How to churn on? So to stay on the pilgrimage, you need to will, you need to have a willpower, power of determination, power of commitment, and power of commitment is natural when you will yourself, which is when you offer yourself arpan to Baba, samarpan. Okay? And then the victory is when you offer yourself, when you have Baba's company, Baba's powers, Almighty Authority invokes all the powers within us, and the victory is guaranteed. It's very much in tune for the subject month.
Om Shanti, brother. Good morning. Today, Baba was speaking about bhakti, and the gift of the bhakti is to have a satoguni intellect. Baba says lotus is a symbol of knowledge. I was connecting this way, brother. I hope I'm right. Please correct me if I'm not. Baba says to be like a lotus is to be light. That means to say for becoming yogyukt, we have to be sitting somewhere, and Baba says lotus is the place where one can sit. To be
Mm.
seated on the lotus, it is only possible when somebody is light. And probably Baba is talking from the intellectual point of view that we have to be light from our heart, from our minds. We will have to burn all our thoughts, relations, and negativity during the bhakti. And by then, we would become lighter. And with that light of knowledge, we imbibe Baba's Gyan, and then by knowledge we become yogyukt. Is that the connect? Because I was unable to understand the initial portion as to how Baba connects lotus to knowledge. It has the lotus has always been a symbol of detachment, and maybe I mean now I found a connect. Please correct me whether that. Thank you. Om Shanti.
See, one thing is especially seat, right? If you digest my churning is when we say seated, who is sitting and where are they sitting? The seat is our awareness, right? Our sense of self. Who am I? That our consciousness of I is based on something, right? And that is the seat Baba is telling. If that sense of self is based on gyan, that I'm a soul, I'm a spirit, I'm not physical, I'm subtle, my true nature is ... So the minute gyan, your awareness is seated on your sense of self, where is your sense of self seated, right? And that very gyan, that very awareness of your sense of self, who I am, makes us transform the shift in the heaviness of your heart, emotions, heaviness in your thoughts, the way we are thinking, the logic through which you are thinking, like, oh, she's like this, she's like that, I should do this, I should do that, I should treat her like this. And all that train of thoughts totally transforms. And that is where is the heaviness. Heaviness in your emotions, heaviness in your relations, heaviness in our thinking. But all of that changes when my sense of self, my self-awareness is seated on based on truth. So then it becomes lighter. You follow, right? And that is what Lotus Baba is talking about. So then Lotus also represents like detached and loving. Detached from, of course, you're still in the body, detached from worldly emotions, worldly thinking, that bandhan, like bonding, it's a tug of war, push and pull. I think that's how I interpret, especially whenever Baba tells about double light or be seated on the lotus. So your sense of self, where is it seated? Where is your self-awareness seated based off of? That has to change. Did I answer?
Right, brother. Right. I understand that we have to be on in the knowledge of soulful soul consciousness. That's when we become light, and light is one character of a lotus. So knowledge and lotus is connected that way. Thank you, brother.
Mm. Yeah.
Om Shanti, brother. The two gifts which Baba has given us today. One is the divine intellect. I would really like to take and use it and nourish it for whatever purpose Baba gave me when I started this soul journey. And the power it gave me, a divine intellect, the light it gave me, the directions it gave me, how I will nurture it. I would like to empower it with all its virtues. And I would also like to broaden it, because Baba says, I gave you this so that you can become Trikaldarshi. And how do I make it subtle and light? Coming to the lotus, I always felt I loved the lotus because even the rainwater never stays on the petal of a lotus, they say. It never gets wet and it blooms. So that means dirt or water doesn't bother a lotus. Like that, no external factors or burdens should really touch me. And as you said, as and when I do, my body consciousness is stripped of all these external things. I become light, and it is as if I'm sitting in an enlightened stage in a lotus. That's the picture. Though grossly I cannot sit on a lotus, just that knowledge of Baba, which he's saying, how it, though in mud, how it blooms, what's the nourishment it gets. Om Shanti.
Beautiful. I just want to add that the sequence is, for me, is Sato Guni intellect and then Divya Buddhi. Right? Sato Guni Buddhi is Buddhi, which is aligned to the truth, brings divinity into the intellect. Because most of the time we try to use virtues to deal with the situation. Virtues will not come alive virtues will not come alive naturally, like virtue of acceptance or being patient or all of the things does not come naturally until my intellect is aligned to the truth. Satoguni and then Divya Buddhi and then everything else follows. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share? Nita, Lakshmi, Balvinder, Bhanubai, Ashok, Jan, Lata, Sakshi. Baba talked about Sakshi.
Om Shanti, brother. Baba also talked about this. When alloy is mixed, you can't mold your original sanskar. So original gold can be molded, but when alloy is mixed, it becomes difficult to mold. And Baba gave this example of tender bonds and tough bonds. Tough bonds is nothing but our hard sanskar that we have accumulated, I think, over a period of time. And tender bonds is, I think, the soft sanskar that we have. And so this bhatti is one way that we can soften our sanskar, because intense tapasya helps us to soften some of our hard sanskar. Right, brother?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. That's right. Especially when we sit in bhatti, it softens some of the harsh sanskaras that we have. That's true.
Right. So another, see, like sometimes we sit in meditation. If the remembrance is not powerful, it's just like you're trying to heat a iron rod with a normal fire. But at the same time, if the intensity is increased, meaning the power of fire is increased, then the even that iron rod can even melt. When it is melt, right, we can shape it however we want. Similarly, the bhatti also help us to transform.
That is true. So now to increase the intensity of the heat, the fuel also has to be so refined. Right? If you just use the coal to burn, it takes forever and the heat produces very less. If you use like gas or something, which is highly combustible. So here the fuel is what gyan am I using? What fuel of gyan am I using to create that flame of love? Yeah. And how focused am I to increase the intensity? Very true. Anyone else? Rachna?
Om Shanti,
Om
brother.
Shanti.
I'm sorry.
Carry on, my sister.
Shall I, or would you like to go ahead, sister?
Rachna Ben, go ahead.
Okay. Brother, Baba always says, "Na, you remember me," and this is the method of destroying my old sinful actions. And for that, Baba has always told us that by doing this in the seed stage, that is the Jwalamukhi Yoga, my old sinful actions are destroyed in the supersonic speed. So today Baba has also talked about the Sakshi and Sati stage. And he has said that this is the stage when my sins get absolved. Again, I think at a higher stage. So can we take it that when I'm sitting in yoga, the Jwalamukhi stage is the highest stage, and in the day-to-day activities, this stage of practicing Sati and Sakshi is the stage when my sins get absolved at a faster rate than the normal remembrance that I have, like in Karam Yoga.
See, especially when we say seed stage, right? We always talk about being that point form. Most of the time, I mean, initially when I came to Gyan, I used to practice that. Point stage is keep visualize yourself as a point, try to pull yourself into a tiny point and things like that. So, but it mostly ends up in getting a headache or can't hold that awareness for long. Afterwards, I realized that point stage is a subtle stage. You cannot jump into point stage without becoming subtle. Means you have to make your, like the brother was telling, you have to soften yourself. Like there's a heavy feeling, use Gyan to soften it up. Become subtle. If your mind is too heavy, strong thoughts, soften up your thoughts in your mind. If your sense of self is heavy, you cannot get further. So first thing is become very subtle and very light, and then you naturally feel the subtle company of Baba. And then as you feel Baba's company, and along with Baba's company, you become so naturally focused that you tune into Baba. And that's where you become more refined. Point form is becoming more refined. More refined you are, truly all your awareness comes alive. Sure. Hope that helps. Did I answer, Rachna?
Yes, brother, I understand the whole basis of your subtle form, the feeling of stabilizing yourself in that subtle form, and that works whether you're in your activities or you are in sitting yoga. Because so many times whenever we are sitting, also we are faced with that bondage of thoughts. So the whole thing is about freeing yourself and stabilizing in the subtle form. That works.
Right. Always bring attention yourself. Swa ki bhav kya hai? And then that drives, how do I make myself lighter? Yeah. It is not something outside you you're trying to access. It's something within you you're trying to refine. That introversion makes makes things very effective. Thank you. Anyone else?
Om Shanti Baiji and Divine Family. I just wanted to clarify when you say sitting in pati in order to burn our sins or change negative sanskara, can I use this as a metaphor? Like I am in this class. Can I consider this class is my pati where I am doing yoga? I am learning, understanding, and I'm also getting some tips how to put in practice. Can we consider a pati or something else different than that? I just want to, because I do not have experience of pati, I just heard in Baba's Murli.
You mean sati?
When you say furnace to burn our
bhatti.
sins, pati, yeah.
Bhatti. Acha. Okay.
Is there something special arrangement, or is this is called is it a metaphor used for what we are doing now?
No. So what we are doing now is satsang, like you are having a company of people thinking alike, right? We are churning knowledge. Bhatti is yoga bhattis generally, where we sit and try to practice whatever we are discussing. We try to practice, and you sit along with others who are also practicing yoga, right? So it creates this powerful atmosphere, and you are part of that powerful atmosphere. Collectively, we go 10x times faster than doing your own individual yoga. So bhatti is like collective meditation, where you sit together and refine, and you change the vibrations of the room, vibrations around, and then you influence each other, and then we accelerate faster. So those special meditation sessions that we do at centers and in Madhuban especially is what we call bhattis, and that intensifies the process of purification.
Oh, I see. So this is not online. So this is on site.
Nowadays we are doing bhattis online also, so yeah, Raki Ben can help you.
Okay. Thank you, Bhaiji.
Sure. But do go to the center, and in center offshore this month there are a lot of bhattis going on. Try to be part of, join some of those sessions. That helps you to get a taste of it.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ji.
Yeah. Anyone else? Or Raki Ben? Sandhya was about to.
Meditation.
Sure. I thought Sandhya Ben was saying something. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, Rachna Ben, I was about to tell the same as Rachna Ben, that Sakshi and Sati both put together gives us Shakti, which are the
Yeah.
components that nourishes the soul. And the point which my Baba has told in this Murli is, and which touched me is, this this makes us yogyukt, which makes us free from the disease. And this stage is more powerful than the radiations which are given for the treatment for other diseases. Om Shanti.
Okay, let's meditate. Bring your attention to yourself. Observe how you feel. Try to make awareness lighter. Try to make your sense of self very relaxed. Not only physically, but also in your mind and in your heart. Gracefully become very subtle. Try to feel the energy of the spirit, the soul. Simply stepping into your home. Feel the pure Shanti Dham. Sukshmadam. Feel that loving vibes radiating from Bab Dada and all the Avyakta angels, naturally becoming Avyakt. And together, along with the family of Avyakt angels, Mama, Baba, Daddies, become very subtle and return home. Absorbed in love of one Baba. Keep the company of Bab Dada and all the Avyakt family in your awareness. And stay yogyukt for rest of the day, for rest of the Avyakt month, rest of the Kalpa, until we return home. Om Shanti.
Shanti. Thank you, Harsha Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a wonderful day.
Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother.
Om Shanti.